Hi, this is March 23rd, 2009. My name is Casey. I'm doing a follow-up video to the first one that I posted on YouTube. And I have so many things I want to talk about, but I have to try to make this a little bit organized. So the first thing I wanted to go over is maybe a little bit of a venting project for me, because I've been getting some emails and I get questions that, and comments that make me just want to scream sometimes from the lack of information and education that's out there, that make me want to scream for myself, honestly, because of things I didn't know. So I'm going to give you a little background, and then I'm going to go over some things that I wish I had known when I started having this problem. About a year ago I started having hives and was diagnosed with autoimmune hives, which are totally different than an allergy. They're caused by a systemic problem, like many autoimmune diseases. Medical science doesn't have any explanation or assign a reason or blame to it, so kind of left to our own devices to do some extra research and try to find out what we can find out on our own. And that's exactly what I did. I went and researched everything I could. I'm still doing research. I find out new things all the time. And as I do research and I see doctors and I learn more, I take notes on things that I'm like, wow, that's completely opposite of what I've ever heard and thought or been recommended towards. So anyway, I'd like to go over a few of them, because even though I'm not a doctor and I have to do, a little disclaimer about how this is my own personal experience, not anything I can recommend to patients or anything like that, I think I just want to tell people what I've gone through and what has what I've learned during the process about nutrition in my own body that might also help yours. Now, a lot of these are really controversial and I might get a million emails, and that's okay. I think it's important to question, and if you're questioning me, all the better. Keep questioning, keep doing research, see what you can find out about a health, because I think the ultimate bottom line is we're only on the brink of understanding the human body. We really don't know everything or even come close to knowing even a third of what we need to know. So good for you if you do question, but this has been my experience. I just want to go over a few things that I would recommend trying yourself and seeing if they would work for you. Let's see, my first, some of my biggest frustrations that I hear people talk about with their health, that I think could have saved me and will save people a lot of time in the long run. Let's see. Oh boy, there's so many. First, there's a lot of food labeling out in the marketplace that, we could go back and forth over political reasons why it should or shouldn't be legal, but it's misleading, bottom line, and I think that's the full intention of it. In food advertising and in food packaging, first and foremost, that milk does the body good. I would highly question that from my own experience. Taking milk out of my diet did my body a lot more good, and that milk is the only form of calcium that can be, that is needed by the body. I think that's also entirely flawed, and there's a lot of research about that as well. Whole wheat is healthy. I don't think any kind of wheat is healthy. Most people that take wheat out of their diet notice a dramatic change in health, and I'm no exception to that. I noticed a dramatic change in health. Let's see what else. Wow, some of these are really controversial. I'm going to get a lot of emails. This could be awesome. Vegetarianism is healthy. Now, I'm not saying vegetarianism is unhealthy. What I will say is, if you're a vegetarian and you're eating a lot of wheat products or carbohydrates that are difficult to digest, yeah, that's unhealthy. I think it is. I think you might, if you're having problems and you haven't tried changing that, maybe it's worth a shot just to see if it works for you. What else? Fat is bad. Fat is not bad. Fat is, it's great actually. Let me just tell you a little bit about my current diet. I eat a lot of meat. Another one, that cholesterol is bad. Cholesterol is not bad. High cholesterol in your body is bad, but eating cholesterol doesn't really correspond with having high cholesterol. Eating a lot of carbohydrates corresponds with having high cholesterol. I probably eat 20 ounces, sometimes 30 ounces of meat a day. My cholesterol is incredibly low because I don't eat any wheat. And I eat very few simple refined carbohydrates. Let's see what else. Everything in moderation. Oh boy. I have issues with this phrase. I don't think wheat in any moderation is good. I think a little less than more is good, for sure. Do I think that high fructose corn syrup in moderation is a good idea? No, I don't. There's absolutely no nutritional value to that whatsoever. Some things have a little bit of nutritional value, and if you want to eat those in moderation, that's fine, as long as you know what you're doing to yourself when you're eating it. But someone telling you, oh, I'm eating a cookie, it's not going to hurt me at all because I'm eating it in moderation. I would just say, if you're having a systemic or a health problem, you don't know that until you try not eating it, until you really try. Sometimes you have to take something to the extreme before you realize, wow, that was really hurting me. For example, I tried raw foodism. It really didn't help my hives. And then when I went on meat, fruit, and vegetables, the amount of swelling in my body just melted away. I lost 3 pant sizes, but only 10 pounds. That's how much swelling I had. I couldn't believe the dramatic change in my body. I've never had this face before. I've never had this cheekbone like this. It's, and I'm not starving, and I am healthy, and I'm normal weight, and I feel better than ever. All my achiness is gone. I sleep better. I'm not as moody. I'm not as irritable. Oh, let's see, I'm running out of time. I have so many things I want to say. Fluoride. Wow, that's a big topic. Always do your research on this sort of thing. Do the research. Try your stuff. Try it on yourself if you want, as long as it's not going to hurt you, and see what happens. Fluoridosis is an overdosing of fluoride that nobody denies is caused by too much fluoride, and it actually hurts bones and teeth. So, in any case, I don't think fluoride is a good idea. I use a non-fluoridated toothpaste, especially for anyone with an autoimmune disease, because it's a chemical. The body gets confused, and usually it's super smart, so something weird is going on. Vaccinations. Wow, so controversial. There's an entire fund set up by the U.S. government meant to compensate people who have had bad experiences with vaccinations. That's how regular it is that people have problems with their children and vaccinations. Nobody denies they cause problems. They deny, the question has always been that they believe that they do more harm, or they believe they do more good than harm. Highly debatable, I would say. Let's see what else. Trans fats. When you see that something has no trans fats on the label, be careful, because trans fats are only one kind of partially hydrogenated oil. I would say this. I think, and I'm going to be really gutsy here, I'm going to say that wheat and milk are more harmful than trans fats. And you never hear that anywhere. Nobody ever says that. Because I eat some trans fats now. Sometimes I eat a lot of trans fats now. But if I eat a little bit of wheat or a little bit of milk, oh my gosh, my body totally has a different reaction. Now, it could just be me. It could just be me. It really could. I don't think so, though. Because I've heard so many accounts of people giving up milk, giving up wheat, and feeling so drastically different. I don't hear that kind of thing about trans fats and hydrogenated oils, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Question, by all means. So that's it for now. I'll post more videos in the future, and feel free to bombard me with those emails of yours. Bye-bye.